Hey guys, Jeremy here, and I've got a question for you. What's a food that you just can't stand? Like it's disgusting. Maybe the taste, the smell, the texture, whatever it is. For some people, the texture of sushi, it drives them crazy. Raw fish, you know. Other people, it's garlic. That smell, they just can't stand it. For me, it's Brussels sprouts. I cannot stand the taste of Brussels sprouts. Now, why do I bring this up? Because I think there's one sin in our own lives, of all of them, that should disgust us. I mean, all sin should disgust us, but there's one, and I believe it's the root of so many other sins, and it's the sin of pride. Pride is something that's all about us. Pride. It's that middle letter I. Pride says, God, I don't need you and I don't need others. And the opposite of pride is humility, where we're living a life that's all about Jesus and it's a life that's all about others. The question is how do we develop a humble heart? Because if we're not careful, this sin just breeds every other sin in our lives. So the first thing that we need to do to develop a humble heart is to simply recognize the pride in our own lives. Recognize where life is all about what I want, what I think, what I like, what I desire. Anytime we have an area of our life that's about us, we need to just recognize that and confess that to the Lord, because here's the crazy reality. It's so much easier to identify and see the sin in other people's lives and not recognize the pride that we have in our own lives, because often it is so subtle. So the first thing we need to do is recognize it and see it and confess it. The second thing that we need to do is we just need to pray for a humble heart. Pray that God would allow us to be more like Jesus. Pray that God would just allow us to have a humble heart. I love what it says in Philippians chapter 2, verse 3. Paul says, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourself. Each of you should look not into your own interests, but also to the interests of others. And boy, the more we pray for humility, I believe the more that God gives that to us. And then thirdly, what do? Well, right out of that verse, we live a life that serves others. Like serve your spouse, serve your kids, serve your parents, because you will find that your focus and your attention is not on yourself but others, because it is really difficult to be selfish and serving at the same time. Hey, pride, it's that mother of all sins. How do we battle it? Boy, we recognize the pride that we have in our own lives. We pray for humility. And then thirdly, we commit to living a life of service and watch what God does. Love you guys. Hope you're encouraged today.